and welcome back to the You Up podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. How are you? What's going on? What's the haps?
I'm good. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll notice that I have an outfit change. An outfit. I'm wearing an outfit that I wouldn't usually wear.
Yeah, I noticed it right away. It is very third grade teacher. Okay. I would say.
You know, is that your honest opinion?
That's my. I mean, it's my honest. I'm actually in shock.
So you hate it?
I don't hate it.
I mean, third grade teacher is not a compliment.
Jordana Harvest Marinelli.
Okay, I'm wearing.
It's like going to teach us about tomatoes.
I'm wearing a knit shirt with tomatoes on it.
So what? Is it a tomato store? Is it harvest season?
No, I got
New
it
moon?
from Anthropology.
Do they have other fruits?
I was just like, I came
Tomatoes
across
are fruit.
it.
Got it.
Came across.
Mark one from me.
It came across on the website, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to deviate from my usual jeans and black shirt.
I think it looks great.
You just said it looks like a third grade teacher.
It's third grade teacher. Was that too much? Too honest?
No, I like it. I'm getting an honest. I've gotten a lot of comments on it. Mike left before I was out of my pajamas, so
I think you should text Mike a picture and just ask his honest opinion of this shirt
right now.
Right now, and let's see if we get an answer.
He's got a pretty busy day. I don't think he's going to answer.
Well,
but let's see.
Maybe this is a dire situation that he needs to answer. Yeah, just go new shirt. Who dis? And let's see. It's growing on me, as are the tomatoes. They're pre-plucked tomatoes. If you're watching on YouTube,
pre-plucked.
It's just such an interesting choice. It
felt like summery. And,
it is summery.
You know, I really don't wear many tops that aren't just like black or white t-shirts.
Yeah, no, I
don't know. I was just kind of like, let me take a risk.
Listen, I'm sitting here in a bright pink
you
sweatshirt.
You take a lot more fashion risks than I do.
I take some risks.
Yeah.
I take some risks.
You're much more colorful in your wardrobe.
I like a little color. I like a splash. did he write back already?
Yes.
He's like, get that thing off.
It's funny because he didn't answer my text from an hour ago.
Right, now he's like.
Okay, his first question, I said, what do you think of this shirt? He goes, did you buy that?
That's
everything. I know every new thing that I get, he waits to find out if I got it from some podcast ad,
right?
Or if it was sent to me by a company.
He's really. It's like him going through murky waters. It's him traveling. This is he could not. I could not agree with him more on how he's. Dealing with this terrain.
First question, did you buy that? Second, IDK if it's your style.
Whoa, this is worse than third grade teacher.
Third statement.
Will is in shock. He just mouth just dropped.
I have one thing about Mike is that he does not bullshit.
That I appreciate that about Mike. I agree.
And then he said, and then the third comment is it's a statement.
What he has.
This is all in succession. You know what's weird about this thing is that before I sent him that picture, I sent him a text over an hour ago that he had not answered.
Was it about a serious thing?
No, it's about scheduling. But
okay. No, this sweater is.
It's like an emergency.
Yeah, we gotta take care of this.
And then I said, yes, I bought it. You don't like it? ?
He thinks this is a joke. He goes, which is even worse. This must be a joke. Jared got it as a bit.
And then he goes, I'm not totally sure. Depends on environment.
Whoa. All 4 of his texts, as a sensitive person myself, I would not take well.
Okay.
All 4 are avoiding. They are making sure they're handling you with kids' gloves, which I don't think you need. That's why I said you were a third grade teacher. Today's sponsored by the letter T.
I'm a little more sensitive with Mike's comments than maybe the general public.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm fucking around.
Right.
Mike.
He's serious.
This is all real. Yeah.
And interesting is always a word that means I don't like it.
Interesting.
I know he's trying to not say he doesn't like it without.
Listen, I am a comment sommelier. I can really break
through
someone's comment on whether it is.
Did you buy it?
Yeah, did you buy it?
He's trying to figure out what the stakes are if he's saying he didn't like it.
Because if it's Liza, stylist to the stars,
yes.
Liza, go follow her on
Liza Lieberman.
Liza Lieberman, she's fantastic. if it's her, then it's like, I don't know, it's easier to like give feedback.
Right. Maybe it's cool. Maybe it's a thing. Yeah.
Let's do a poll on YouTube. Like, okay, let's do a YouTube thing. If you like the sweater, just give a thumbs up in the comments. If you don't, just give a interesting.
You can give a thumbs down. You can give it.
Is that too much? I don't know.
No, it's okay.
Thumbs down is fine. We don't need a dissertation. I don't want. Well,
here's the other part.
Tomato is a representative of fierce. And
here's the other thing. I'm not someone who's like, so I don't pride myself on my astute fashion sense. So if someone was like,
this before.
If someone was like, that's a miss, I would be like, okay. It's not like I'm like trying to it's not like I made this shirt.
No, this is in your heart and soul.
I saw it on the website. Right. I was like, let me take a risk.
And I'm happy you did. This is a pro risk-taking podcast. This isn't a sit-in-the-house podcast. We are team try, okay? And I like that you tried.
Seems like you and Mike appreciate that I tried and would like me to never wear it again.
We're happy you like it. Yeah, if you don't like it, put a thumbs down in the comments. We'll see what people have to say. Right. And YouTube is like kind of where we go to read. That's where I go.
Yeah, I read it. I read the Spotify comments too on the episode.
I've avoided Spotify.
Those are good.
Those are good?
Because people have to put their name behind those too.
Okay.
So people are irrational and normal there.
I need things for the toilet, so I'll go read those.
Go check them out. But it's funny. I think Mike and I have a statement for when like we don't like something, but we're like not trying to shit all over it, but we are. Where it'll be like someone will try on a shirt before we're going out, and then the comment is, "Why don't you wear that in front of your friends? Why don't you wear that when we go out with your friends?"
Right. That's a your friend's outfit.
Yes, that's a your friend's outfit versus like a my friend's outfit.
This is good advice for couples.
I think so.
I think this is like
I would be more risky around my friends than his friends.
Right, because you're going to get from your friends like a hug and a whisper. That's how all of us want feedback. We want to be hugged, and then we want to be whispered.
Right. Your fly's open.
Hey, you should probably wear that in the fall when it's harvest season.
It's
more of a fall sweater.
It's the spring.
It does
very
look comfortable. Oh, okay.
It always looks comfortable. That's an insult
that's when
too.
You don't like it. Yeah.
Listen, you're getting me back for your outfit yesterday.
Well, you saw it last week. We're taping this now. We've ruined the allure.
Sorry.
We're taping
the last episode. Sorry, you're
right.
Just
we can keep it. Keep it. We can let people know we taped 2 in a row so that I can go back to Boca to find more outfits and Joe Dirt attire, and Jordana can go back to the drawing board and find, maybe some apple trees to wear.
You don't like any graphics on
I do.
shirts?
It's the knit tomato.
So if a woman showed up on a date with this, would you just comment on it like all night, or would you not comment on it?
I don't know.
This isn't really a date shirt. I mean, you're going to talk about fashion.
If someone wore this on a date, I would be like, we are not fucking till date 30.
I mean, third grade teacher is
this is back away, dude. We're doing one arm side hug at the end. Okay. That sweater.
Not fucking sweater.
No. Well, I like that you're right. It is, you have said, you're like fashion, like this isn't something I pride myself on. This is something I'm like, kind of like take some shots, take some chances. It is one of those things. I heard this once. It's like, you can't call me fat if I'm thin. Like if I don't have this insecurity.
Right. I can't be insulted by something that I don't believe I'm good at.
And it is so funny that it's like, it's Mike's, just to hear the husband's text. This is very husband, like, let me just make sure.
Did you buy that? It's also,
did you buy that?
I mean, there's certain phrases where I know what they mean at this point. Also because, he'll be more likely to tell me the truth if I didn't pay for it.
Right. It's someone else's passion.
As opposed to me being like, well, this is $1,500.
Right. Tell them it's fit. You should say that.
I should, right?
Just be like, oh my God, maybe I'll return it. It was like, we got to give something more realistic. It was like $450.
It was $450. I wish I could return it. I already stained it.
Do it.
You'd believe that. You'd believe
Text that right now. I'm so happy we texted them. This is a great opening to what I'm sure will be a fantastic episode. I was thinking about this. I went on a date, and I have to ask you this. We talked about like AI writing questions for you, or writing back to people's texts and stuff.
Yeah.
I had a situation where on the date, they admitted that their friend was texting me. And like there was a mention of like that was left on red.
Their friend was like controlling the app. The app was like using their phone
for them.
Yeah.
Right. Their friend took their phone the way I imagine it.
Right.
Friend took their phone out of their hand, and we were texting, and there was a mention of being left on red. You know what that is, or left on read. I don't know, read, red, whatever you do. You know the reference is like that you've seen someone has read your text and they don't answer you when you want an answer. That would be the definition of left on read or read.
Yes.
And they were like, I didn't even know what that meant. And I was like, what do you mean you didn't know what that meant? They're like, my friend sent that, and like I had never heard that phrase before. And I got to thinking, I was like, what are the limits of having, what preparations? We've all had friends text for us.
Yes.
Like this isn't like I'm not against the friend texting me.
We've create at our live shows, we create texts to send to people,
right,
and then have the listener send them.
But yeah, right. But and if you're texting in Spanish when the person speaks German, right. I think you've done. You guys have not worked together on this. This isn't like.
Well, I agree.
Hey, I would have done a better job.
When a friend texts for you, it should be a joint effort,
right?
And you've written text for me.
Yeah. And you go and you review it, make it more you.
Yes.
But there are times where I've texted for you and you go, I wouldn't say that. Mm-hmm. I think that's like the normal we write to edit kind of move.
Right.
Because I was sitting there, I was like, it did leave me thinking, and it was a good date, very nice person, but I was like, who was I texting with? Like, was the person I texting with not the person I'm out with?
Yeah.
Not false advertising as much as like.
Well, it doesn't even seem like you're trying very hard. If you're not even like.
I kind of assumed it was trying because you're having like maybe you wanted the date bad enough to go. Because I listened to you on Oversharing. You were talking about like editing your pictures. Mm-hmm. And you were saying that like when you got a like from.
My Photoshopped picture, yeah.
It didn't feel great.
Right.
And I do think that kind of this goes into that territory. Like, would you feel good on the date knowing that someone else is the reason it happened?
You're there on false pretenses.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's a weird way I have no problem with a friend helping you craft a text. Again, we do that all the time.
Right.
But it has to be done like in tandem. Otherwise, why don't you date her friend?
Right. I was wondering, like, also like left on red, like I know it. Like that's a part of a vernacular that I would maybe speak or understand with, you know, like, so I was like, because it was so specific.
Did it make you want to leave the date?
No, I just was like, it made me go, how much of a match was this, for us?
Well, there is a sense, just like when you lie on a dating app about a fact about you, there is a sense of like, we got here under false pretenses. Like,
right.
Did you not just waste both of our time?
Right. And sometimes that becomes the cute story if it works out. Oh, he said he was 5'9" and he was 5'7", but he got him in the door. I don't know. Does anyone ever tell that story? Probably not.
I don't think so.
You don't really hear that story as much as people lie about heights.
Right.
I don't know. It's the lying thing. I don't think it's I wouldn't call it lying. I would just call it like, I was just sitting there being like, this is such a specific line that you were like, I had no idea what that even meant. And I was like, well, I had a full conversation with you about this. Yeah. This came up on our exchange.
Or at least read the conversation before you go on the date.
Right. I don't know.
What if her friend was texting you like, I'm going to show up, like, show up naked? Like,
what if I'd be like, what? I'm going to show up in a tomato sweater.
Like,
look for me.
How do you not even read the conversation? Even if she didn't even write it with her.
She read it. She just didn't know what it meant. She didn't even know what she was fucking saying. Let's go to Plug City for 2 seconds. We have a benefits episode that's out right now. Subscribe.betches.com. $4.99 a month. 2 extra podcasts a month, no ads. You get them early. And this week is a Jordana and Jared episode.
Yes, you're getting behind the scenes stuff from both of us.
50-50. So go. We love being personal on this platform. Go subscribe. Listen, if you're out there in the world, I'm doing shows. I'm on the road. I've added Chicago, jaredfree.com. We love a Chicago show.
In the summer?
Not in the summer.
Okay.
It's going to be in the fall. It's going to be a theater.
Ooh, which one?
The Riviera.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever done it.
I think we've done the Vic a couple
The
times.
Vic is great.
You know?
This is, I think, might be bigger.
Ooh.
So like, yeah, if you're coming to the show, bring friends. Like I'm the relatable king. Okay, I'm gonna do a show that's for the whole room, not your friend. I don't know if they'll like. You need to get out of your own head. You're not that interesting, okay? I'm not that interesting. I am a relatable act. I'm for everybody. Bring the friends, the family, the brothers, the sisters, the mamas, the papas, anyone who needs a laugh. And I think we all do right now. I hate when people do that.
We do.
I think we all do right now.
I think I agree.
We all need a laugh.
But we do need a laugh.
Right. I anytime I hear that from someone, it's always the saddest person in the world. Thank you for coming.
We cry.
Needed that laugh.
We need to cry. Laugh so we don't cry.
We have to laugh. Everyone needs a good laugh every now and again. You think your family's crazy. You should see our family. I get that a lot too.
You should see our family.
Our family, you wouldn't last a minute. Yeah, I've been around a loud aunt. Okay. So I'm on the road again. I'm telling funnies on the road again.
Remember when people used to write the jingles?
I love the jingles.
That was fun.
Good era.
Yeah.
Let's not. No. We have more good things coming.
Yes.
I don't like remember.
Sorry.
When.
I forgot. No nostalgia.
No nostalgia. On this podcast. Manchester, Connecticut, Huntsville. I was just in Huntsville. Loved it. Manchester, Connecticut, London, England. Come on. All those Lad Bible fans that have come over.
Get over there.
Get over there. London, England, Stamford, Connecticut, Bloomington, Indiana, Brea, California, Spokane, Washington, Denver, Colorado. Those tickets are gone. San Francisco, I always sell out in San Francisco. East Providence, Rhode Island, Kansas City, Missouri, Richmond, Virginia, Chicago, Illinois. More coming, always more coming.
Love it. All right.
What are we talking about today?
I will read our first email.
Please do.
Hi, J&J. First off, huge fan. Been listening since 2016. We launched this podcast in 2017. It's okay.
Well, you're a fucking liar. Did I date you last night?
Maybe. It's okay. Thanks for listening since before we even existed. That's a true fan. That's a true fan.
Yeah, right. Maybe they were listening to J Train.
Maybe.
That could be it.
Yeah.
And you had a podcast.
Yeah,
in
maybe
2016.
they've been listening to Betches and J Train.
Right.
Since then.
Okay, we'll take it.
Okay,
I'll take it. Listen, they've been here.
You've been listening to something.
We're shitting on our oldest fan.
They've been listening to something since 2016. Yeah. All right, and
I stopped listening when they started being mean to their fans for listening too much. Can you imagine?
Well, I'm sure that'll be a comment. Okay.
You know who we should have on? And I'm putting this out there to the have on gods.
Let's hear it.
Bethany Frankel.
I have said that too. She's passed.
On just Betches?
I don't think she really does like many shows.
She'd be tough to wrangle.
Yeah.
I think she would
if we
be
could
an
reel
annoying
her.
guest.
She moved to Florida. She just moved to
know.
Florida too.
She started following me
You
on
should
TikTok.
go pick her up.
She started
following you on TikTok. Oh, why don't you DM her?
I'll DM her because out of nowhere, I think Bethany Frankel is a genius.
She's terrifying.
Is terrifying.
Yeah.
She's all the things. I think she's like I follow her and it's like an animal at the zoo. I just like can't. It's like the only like exhibit I want to watch. She reminds me a lot of my mom in like the way that like I know certain people can't be around my mom. Like they can't handle it.
Too much.
It's like for them, they're like their like body is like they get like an inner like can't deal with it. But I love it. I could watch for days.
Yeah, I definitely I don't agree with everything she says, but she
doesn't want to be agreed with everything.
I'm entertained by most things she says, even if I don't agree with them.
Yeah, okay, but she started following me out of the blue, I think for my food stuff I put on TikTok.
Huh. Well, she's a former chef.
I followed her back. Oh, wow, I didn't know.
Yes. For season 1, she's a chef.
Right,
she's like a personal
doing catering.
Chef. Yeah.
I forgot. Well, then she's going to farmers markets with skinny margaritas. Like, I don't know. I've been thinking about her a lot because she also was like to all the haters who are mad at me.
Well, she's single.
I don't think she's single. She said men bring her crab
Would you date
claws.
her?
No. I couldn't.
Too thin for you?
Yeah. That amongst other things. I don't know.
Well, she's a little older.
It's not even the age.
She's got a kid.
It's the kid.
It's the kid.
No. I don't know. There's not even like a thought of dating.
Well, it is. I mean, she had like the longest divorce in history also.
I would love to have her on to talk about the divorce process.
Totally.
That's probably an interesting.
She talks about it a lot on her she talks about her prenup.
I always think that her comment section is like wild. Like it's there's so many people who have never had a Jewish mother on there.
Right.
That I'm like, they just don't get it.
She's a little like self-congratulatory, which is kind of what annoys me about her.
She's Vince McMahon. She's a circus barker. Right. That's why she's a genius. She had this whole thing about how people are mad at her for walking in the swimsuit, Miami Sports Illustrated swimsuit. No one's mad at her. That person doesn't exist. And if the person does exist, she would never speak to her on the it doesn't exist to her.
Right.
The haters, there's no haters. What?
Yeah.
Some woman who's like hugging her Bible in the middle of Iowa is upset that you walked in a swimsuit thing. She doesn't matter to anyone.
Yeah.
You know, so like she's like talking about like a straw man. Because then everyone comes to her side. No. Women should be. She's playing the fucking guitar here.
She knows what she's doing.
She knows she's the puppet master. We're the puppets.
I'm very intrigued by everything she says, and if she did want to come on the show, you should DM her. Now that she follows you.
This will come out, and if people listen, if you're listening and you want Bethany on this show,
yeah, I don't think she's going to do it because I think that she doesn't really do a lot of shows. I don't know. But maybe
listen, she's coming to a warm place. Yeah. We're fans. We're seeing.
Decent amount of shit, but we are fans.
We're talking honestly. Who talks more honestly than Bethany, except if she's trying to become the victim in this situation?
All right. Well, let's get into our email. All right. So you've been my dating compass since my 20s. Jordana, Ronnie content gives me life. He's precious. Jared, I've seen you live a few times in Raleigh, and you always kill it.
See, that's a compliment.
So excited for your move.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Here's my situation.
What's your fucking problem?
Okay. My boyfriend of almost 2 years and I are moving in together soon. He's amazing. Spare you the unique and never heard before reasons. He has 2 kids from a previous marriage, divorced 5 years, and I genuinely love them. I've never been married, no kids, just a dog. Jared, I know. It's okay for single people to have a dog.
It's okay. Just we're judging.
The issue, his ex-wife. You're judging me too.
No, okay. I like Ronnie. We haven't met. Still waiting for my invite.
Can't wait for you guys. You have an open invite.
Well, it's harvest season. I don't know if I can.
Maybe I should grow some tomatoes in my garden.
I think you gotta.
I should. Okay, the issue, his ex-wife. She's remarried, but insists she and my boyfriend are still a family, one that includes her new husband, but not me. Example, on Christmas, I was allowed over hours after she, her husband, my boyfriend, and the kids did their thing. When I asked him why he didn't just say I was coming, he said he agreed to that setup during the divorce. Who during the divorce is like, I guess maybe in the divorce they were like, unless you're married, we're not spending Christmas with the significant others. I don't know what kind of agreement that is.
It sounds like he's dealing with a PETA.
Yes.
Listen, all men have one motto. We don't want no trouble.
Not all men. Not Jason Hoppy.
Not Jason Hoppy, right. This guy seemed, yes. But I'm with this guy. Mm-hmm. I don't want no trouble. Interesting.
I have another opinion, but
please.
Okay. She's made divorce her entire brand. Quit her job to become a divorce coach. Refers to their split as conscious uncoupling. Barf. And she's been on random podcasts that I swear only me and my friends have heard. I love how she listens to everyone.
Right.
Where she paints my boyfriend as a beta, she heroically left. She drags him constantly while preaching about how great their relationship is. She even posted on Father's Day calling him the hottest divorced dad in Raleigh, fully knowing we're together. Financially, they're still weirdly tied. They share a country club membership on his card, which she uses with her husband, yet I can only go as a guest. He says he deducts her share from child support, but come on. I've asked him to separate the memberships while that the club hasn't shut it down. Call the club.
An anonymous tipster.
He agrees.
Claims that a divorced couple is still using their membership.
Seriously. Yeah. He agrees she sucks, but says it's best for the kids if they stay friendly.
I don't want no trouble.
I get that, but this goes way beyond friendly. There are zero boundaries. She uses the kids to stay in control financially and emotionally. When we first met her requirement before I met the kids, she spent the whole time emphasizing how close they are and how past girlfriends couldn't handle it. It felt like a threat. When I brought it up to him, he brushed it off with, let her live in her fantasy world.
I don't want no trouble.
She texts and calls constantly, like every time the kids sneeze. When she travels, he drives them to and from the airport. When her husband's away, she invites him to lunch, movies, pickleball, etc. His parents can't stand her and have said she's sabotaging his life. They're begging him to set boundaries too. Don't bring his parents into this.
That's her big emotional paragraph. Yeah, to try and get our support. We have we're here for you.
Important context. My own divorced parents co-parented great, but never made it their personality. I get healthy co-parenting. This is not that. I've asked him repeatedly to draw lines, and he keeps saying it's easier to keep the peace.
I don't want no trouble.
I've told him I feel like the side piece to his remarried ex-wife. Some things improve, but new issues always pop up because of their entanglement. How am I supposed to plan a future with someone still so wrapped up in the past? We've talked about marriage and kids, but I hesitate. I know sharing kids means some contact, but how do I push for real boundaries without looking like I'm trying to break up their already broken family? Love you guys. Thanks for solving dating one despy email at a time.
I appreciate this email. This is so tough. I don't know how much I can help by giving the emotional, like, the way this guy's operating is the way men operate with their moms, their sisters, their exes.
Well, to that point, I would say her problem isn't with the ex-wife. It's with her boyfriend.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because you can't control, like, this woman. You're not dating this woman. You are dating this man.
Right.
And so the things you want, you have to go to him for. And so he's juggling, keep the peace, but also prioritizing his relationship. Right. And I think she's listing like a million things. I think she should stick to the ones that actually have consequences for her. Him driving the ex-wife and the kids to the airport, unless it's like he's skipping dinner to go do that, I don't think is like your place to get involved in. If he doesn't mind doing it and it's not negatively affecting you in any way, let that go.
Right. No, I'm with you. I literally, what I wrote for my note for this email was strategize. Mm-hmm. And that's part of what you're saying is she's strategizing wrong. And I think a lot of women do this to try and get men to like move and do things. And it's not a great way to go. Like my advice, like I'm not moved by the as you said, the rise to the airport, his parents don't like, that's not working. Right. That's already happening. And he's keeping things the same. His biggest concern is I don't want no trouble. He doesn't want to, this woman, it's like one of those, like, when you have anxiety and you're like, I think like your sister says it a lot, like you'll deal with them as they come.
Right.
And he's trying to like set everything up ahead of time. I'm guilty of doing this too, where I'm like, let me make sure everything is okay and then just fade out and just keep everything on its, like, it's like a Jenga. You know, like everything's balanced correctly, but it's on poor foundation.
Right.
You know, so he's like, let me back away.
It's not a system that works long term.
And he's just trying to keep plugging holes in the ship that's going down.
Fine. I think, again, understandable. He has kids. I think it's good for I think parents getting along is very good for the kids.
Well, that's the thing that's what he's using to ward his girlfriend off.
Right.
He's using that as the stick that's on fire going, no, kids got to be okay. And it's like,
so sure, take them to the airport.
Well, but there's another way to do this. And I think creating a foundation that works for everyone is what will make sure the kids are okay. Like, and listen, I'm saying this, you know, the feedback could be, Jared, who the fuck are you to talk about this? I'm just saying.
I mean, she asked us.
She asked us, but I think she's got to strategize, and it starts with money. She's got to do and you sit with him. You got to sit with your boyfriend and go, here's how it's operating today. You share this country club membership. I think that's like the perfect in. Like, are we going to be getting closer and married while you're doing it this way?
The country club sharing doesn't bother me.
It's not about bother, but it's about
the enmeshment.
That it represents everything. You are two divorced people. You're keeping the membership for what? The kids like going there. Okay, we're gonna have to find a new way to entertain the kids if we are gonna be a couple. Mm-hmm. Like the kids like going there is not what, you know, kids having their country club membership change.
How are the children?
Right.
How are the children get by without their country club membership?
Right. Kids can get through that. What they can't get through is the parents tiptoeing around each other and having one who's married calling their ex a beta male and going on podcasts, and having the other one miserable and not saying a word and keeping his relationship hovering.
Right. But that's kind of on him.
Yeah, it's all on him.
That's
I'm
what I'm
with
saying.
you on that.
I don't think it's her job to be like changing this man to make him more independent from his wife. All she can do is state what her own needs are.
Right.
Which is why I think she should focus on the things that actually affect her. The Christmas thing, I think, is a great example.
Right.
She gave a lot of examples. I think a lot of them she should let go because they don't really affect her. The wife going on the podcast or saying they're so close, that's her. That's a her thing.
Right.
Nothing really to do with you. It doesn't really affect you besides it being annoying.
Right. Like work this email down to the main actual points.
The things that actually have consequences on your life and that you feel are prohibitive and you becoming more of a member of his family. The Christmas thing, I think, is the strongest leg she has to stand on. Because the Christmas thing is like, I'm not being included in your life in a meaningful way because of this lack of boundaries that you're setting with your fiance or with your ex-wife. Or again, like it doesn't seem like it's a priority to you that I be there when the kids are opening gifts and when everyone's together. To me, it makes me feel like I'm not included in the family.
So I guess based on this, if we're to like give her like the strategy, you're saying, let's go with the Christmas one.
To me, that makes the most sense.
And this is your argument you're bringing to him. Hey, I've been thinking a lot. The worst words a husband or boyfriend could ever hear.
Right.
I've been thinking a lot. I'm really not happy with how Christmas went. And he's like, it's July. What the fuck? Really? I didn't see this fight coming. Hey, I've been thinking a lot. My favorite
holding
podcast.
on to this one.
Yeah, I'm just something has been eating at me. I don't like how Christmas went. And here's how I saw it. I was brought in during, the like unnamed people section of the day.
Right. After the meaningful family section.
Right.
Yeah.
And I care for your kids, love your kids. I'm a part of, this is a family to me. I would like to know what our plan is for next Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, is that a July conversation? I think it could be.
I think it could be. Or I think it sets the tone for like the year. I think it represents like, you can say it as part of like, it represents to me like a little bit of you holding me at arm's length or not prioritizing our relationship over, or not even over, but as a major part of your life.
So,
and your kids' lives.
Let's say he says, okay, fine. Next Christmas we'll do it differently. Is that cool?
I think
I would say no. I would go, can you go talk to your ex and like hash this out now? Like,
I feel like that's like a weird ask a little bit. Again, if I were her, I would think of things that are coming up or how this is manifesting in your life in a day-to-day way. Like everything she's saying here sounds annoying, but doesn't really sound, it sounds like his ex-wife is very annoying and not someone you'd want to hang out with, and is sort of like using this closeness with him as
and already telling her other people couldn't handle how close we are. It's like, well,
but that's fine. That's
right,
her.
Right.
I think it bothers her because there's an element of my boyfriend is actually like basically showing me that this is accurate. She's saying they are so close that I can't be involved in these family things. Are there things she's not being invited to because of this closeness? Is it the country club thing where she's like, I want to also be, the member with you guys. Like how does the husband and the wife and there's two husbands and one wife on the country club membership and then she's the guest? Like,
right.
I don't understand how are there three adults?
That's why she says she can't believe it's still happening. Like, that they haven't like.
Well, I don't even make it like, oh, I can't believe the club is allowing this. Be like, okay, let's get me on.
Right.
Like,
if this works,
right.
Yeah.
I think your argument is only as strong as like how it's affecting you.
Right.
I think this is weird is not a thing that really feels like a good justification for changing anything.
Because he's already answered this is weird. His answer to this is weird is like, this is how it works.
Yeah.
Like, this is what makes life easier.
Right. And to hear someone say this is not okay without a reason that it actually affects them, to me would be not a good reason to change. Like,
right.
I don't want you driving them to the airport. If it doesn't affect you, what's the difference?
She has to suss out what works with her friends to get them to go, this is crazy, and what would work with an actual partner. Like what works with your friends is like, and she has them drive to the airport.
Right,
and
of course,
like,
talk all the shit that you want.
Right,
like she's crazy, that's fine.
Right,
but like,
you gotta
how does it
suss it down.
How does it actually affect you? And then work on changing the things where it actually affects you. And then I think at the end of the day, if you're like, I don't really want a relationship where someone's entangled with their ex-wife like this, you could say, I'm turned off by that.
Right.
I'm gonna move on.
Right. That's the way to go. This is hard because I understand the fear of like, I got this guy, he's great, I like the kids, like there's a lot like entangled here. And I'm just like not getting that next thing. Like he's basically saying this should be enough. And it's like, this isn't enough. Mm-hmm. It's hard. Well, I want to hear back on this one.
Yeah, let us know if you took that advice.
Yeah. UUP@betches.com. Keep sending your emails. Icky or picky.
Let's do it.
We love an icky or picky. We decide whether you are valid in your ick or you're being a little picky.
Let's hear it.
Icky or picky. He goes through your purse on a date unsolicited. I'll say this before we even get to this email.
You're like, I pickpocket all my dates.
I take all of their blush, their toner. A man going through a purse, not a very sexual look anyways.
I would agree.
Like if I just can't find anything in here.
Did your mom ever ask you to get something from her purse?
Yeah, and then I put one arm in like that, like a man.
Yeah.
You know, like
I feel like men are just like, here, they just bring you the purse.
Right. And we hold it underneath like
just,
it's
just take it.
Carrying a bomb.
Yeah.
Like even like if I look through a purse like this, like there's just always loose things in here. Like this is not a good man
wrapped
look.
Candies?
Love a sucker. For context, I, 24, met this guy, 24, male, on the apps. We met for drinks first and had a great time. I feel like the flirty banter and chemistry was there. We went on 2 more dates after that, and on the 3rd, I started to notice something strange about him. Even though our convo and banter is great, he likes to fill any silences in the conversation with a bold and seemingly random question. This man is asking my salary, how much I have in student loans, and how much I have in my bank account. Did not answer that one. Most recently on our 3rd date, he went, "What's in your purse?" When I playfully went along with it saying, "Do you want a haul?" Like a purse haul? Yeah. He said, "No, I want to look myself," and proceeded to pull out his phone flashlight and go through my purse. What is he, a bouncer at a concert? Let me look in there. Okay, you're good to go.
This guy's a weirdo.
I tried to go play along and joke, "Are you going to rob me?" But looking back, I realized how weird this was. I do think he's trying to make conversation be funny and spontaneous, but what do you think? Do people just not have boundaries anymore? Or am I uptight for not thinking it was funny? Signed, a potentially pickpocketed bitch.
I think the purse thing within a context, again, if she was like into it, could be fine. I think the weirder, icky thing is asking someone their salary or how much money they have in their bank account on the 3rd date.
Yeah, this is like a young, immature kind of male move. It sounds like maybe I'm gendering it. Just
how much money do you have?
Well, this kind of like rings like I'm like being reminded of people I went to high school with.
Okay,
with these like big bold questions that are bold for the sake of being bold, and
right.
The question says more about them than it is something they really want to learn about you.
Right,
so
they're just trying to show you that they're this kind of person.
Right, and it's kind of like a front for a personality when you're trying to figure out what your personality is. He's 24. Like, that's a young. She's 24. You know, maybe she's mature or more mature than him. But like,
probably.
Yeah, I mean, from the sound of this email, she wrote with a pretty great email. But I've met this type before, and nowadays. You see a lot nowadays. That's made me sound 100 years old. But you see people like self-diagnose themselves to be able to be kind of dickheads. Okay. You know, so they're like, well, I'm a little autistic. So what do you make? And you're like, well, you just said the thing that
now I can't say anything,
right? And also like can't say anything, and also you just like prefaced your weird behavior with acknowledging I act weird. So that means you know to not act weird.
Right.
You know, like by saying,
you just said it, you know it's weird.
People do it with like where they're from. I'm from New Jersey. So what type of underwear are you wearing? Us, New Jersey, we're all garbage. Your underwear, please. You know, like, and it's like, I hate that.
Yeah.
And I think when it's a 24-year-old, I go, that's a 24-year-old being a 24-year-old. When it's a 35-year-old, I go, I'm not going to talk to that person anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like.
I agree. This is icky.
It's icky. The going through the purse thing is like, a product, as you said. Yeah. Like that's kind of where it went on this occasion.
Yeah, I agree. I think the questions before that are worse. And I could see a situation where it'd be like a funny, like if it happened sort of like mutually as a funny joke that kind of like went there, I think it would be fine. I don't think that in itself is, unless he like grabbed the purse and started looking through it.
Oh, look for myself. I would, even with the joke, you'd be like, no, you look, I guess, yeah, you can do a haul. You can pull out, like, I don't want to pull out, like, your tampons. Like, you know, You know, like
Condoms.
right? I don't need. It's just not classy. It's
I
just
agree.
not. Yeah, I would be.
Why are you on this medication?
Right. Zoloft, weirdo. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like,
I agree.
I feel for her because this is like the growing pains of dating, and this is like
It sounds very 24-year-old dating a 24-year-old.
and it sounds very like I had COVID during freshman year of college, and I didn't learn how to like
socialize.
Yeah. Like they were saying that that West Village Girly article was saying like a lot of it was like I saw a lot of TikToks about it, like how like the West Village is like a college campus now. It's like, well, I can kind of like see why. Like, they missed a year of college. You know, like, wouldn't you?
They're grabbing it back.
Yeah, get a little bit back. You have that experience. So, yeah, icky. Let's do another email.
Okay. J&J, I'm a longtime listener and I've learned so much from your podcast. But the other day I was getting ready for a first date and I felt stuck.
Oh, no.
I realized something I haven't heard you solve is what exactly to wear on a first date, specifically for women. We do have an episode about this.
We do have an episode about this with Liza.
Yes, from a while back.
But go follow Liza. Let's give a plug.
Yeah, go follow Liza Lieberman.
We mentioned her earlier.
She does a lot of my outfits for events.
She did not pick the tomato sweater.
She did not pick this. This was my own.
Jordana.
You're showing me more and more as we go through the episode just how much you hate this shirt.
I don't hate. Here's the thing. It's this is like the other thing with like male. I think like it's not a hate. Like I'm not like I guess Jordana's a tomato gal now. Like I'm not like
it's
a
funny
personality
that
trait.
It's funny that Mike's like it's a statement. I'm like no, a statement is like you know what I mean? Like I love
hashtag
New York,
right? You know, it's I don't know what statement it is.
The statement is.
I like tomatoes.
Is it spring?
Right, it's spring.
It's a spring.
Spring has sprung.
Yes, it's skipping my step.
I like what is the name of the salad?
Tomato salad. Caprese.
I love a caprese.
Yes. Maybe I'll grow some tomatoes.
Team caprese.
If I make a tomato garden, I will bring you in some
Can't
fresh
wait
tomatoes.
to see these tomatoes.
Okay. Specifically for women, I am 31 female and looking for a more serious relationship. Of course, I want to look good, but also not show too much or look like I'm just here for one thing, sex. Is wearing a cute spring dress in summer or jeans and a sweater in winter okay for a first date? Or should I be wearing something low cut and hot? Is the hotter the better the approach here? Sincerely, a fashion confused bitch.
Okay, so what would be your do's and don'ts for dating attire? Dating fashion.
Yes. Well, my favorite thing, I think I've talked about this before. My favorite thing about a first date outfit is that you really only need one.
Right. I do think it is, they say like school uniforms takes away the anxiety for the children, but it also takes away the artistic, creative license that a child will get to dress themselves and be their own person. So there's a yin and a yang to it. But I agree with the first date, you can get to your artistry later, or you can wear it in different ways that don't include that are just done on your own terms, not for like to get a guy. Like I think dressing to get a guy like is a bad move.
I agree. I think if you're very into fashion, then you're probably not writing in about this. And if fashion's your thing, you probably want to wear different outfits on every date.
Right.
If I'm speaking to the people who are more like me, who like, that's not their biggest skill set. That's not something they like pride themselves on.
Right.
They want to look cute. They want to feel confident in what they're wearing, which is why I'm a fan of like the first date outfit. You kind of spending time to curate one outfit because the fact that it's a first date outfit means you can wear it multiple times because they're all new people.
So what, like a sweater with a squash on it?
Yes, tomatoes are for work. Squash is for a big eggplant. I would wear an eggplant one on the date.
I was laughing as I was about to say it. I'm sorry. This is such an apt outfit for this episode.
It is. It is funny. I took the fashion risk today.
Today of all day. I'm with you. Have one thing. Jeans and a black t-shirt.
Yeah, that's what you feel comfortable in.
A colorful watch. Sometimes I'll wear a colorful watch because there's a little pop.
Yeah.
Maybe some like colorful shoes for me. I'm like sneakers are in. They're fine. You don't want to.
Is there an outfit that you like on a woman for a first date?
I like when their titties are out. No, The only time I've noticed is when it's been like very
fruit or vegetables. When it's very fruit
I like
central,
when it's
food forward.
when a shirt has a cheeseburger on it.
Okay.
No, the whole dressing revealing thing. I've never thought. Again,
I don't think it's about revealing. I don't think you need to dress revealing. I think it's about wearing something that you think looks flattering on you, that you think that you feel hot in, that you feel like attractive.
yeah.
in.
It's all about it. It's confidence first.
Right.
Confidence first. If you feel confident wearing something that shows, I'm just saying from my end, I've never thought, but I'm not going to like say that no one has ever thought, because you hear this from men, like the idea of like she was asking for it, like is like
Icky.
It's something that gets said.
Right.
So I can't not bring that up, but I wouldn't associate like someone who would say she was asking for it based on what she was wearing.
I don't think it's about asking for it. I do think it's like I think there's outfits that you can wear that sort of lead with sex. And I'm not saying I'm not saying you're asking for it, but I do think if you're looking for more to like see if someone's personality is compatible with yours, I think you might want to not dress conservatively, but dress in something that's not what it's really screaming is what you're looking for.
Right, but I guess the only reason I bring up like this horrific cartoon of a person, and I'm not trying to like scare anyone, but I think sometimes maybe there's a thought that like wearing something revealing will tell me who the assholes are who can't handle it. And it's like, that guy's going to be an asshole no matter what. Like,
right.
So I'm saying that's a false
Have
premise.
you ever been turned on or turned off by a revealing outfit?
No, it's all, again, like I'm not trying to be woo-woo or trying to be, Mr. Nice Guy, but I'm saying like the confidence thing is a big deal. Like if you're confident in what you're wearing, that's all that matters. Like I really, and like, you're just comfortable, confident, comfortable in your own skin type of thing. Yeah. That's all that matters.
And that's why I would say like a few little quick tips would be wear something that you don't have to, that you're not adjusting all night. Like that always makes me feel like a little insecure if like your bra strap, you're kind of keep having to like move it, just as an example. Like I've done that where I'm like, I kind of wish I wore a shirt that I didn't just have to adjust, because now I'm kind of like thinking about it. It's like a little bit distracting to me. I'm worried if this person is seeing something.
Yeah. I mean, I've been dressed on a date where I'm like, damn it, this is not helping my mindset.
Right. I don't feel good in this outfit.
I don't feel good in this outfit, so I don't feel good on this date, so I don't even care who I'm across the table from.
Which is why, I mean, sometimes, again, if we're all busy, I think it's good to just have a go-to outfit. Again, it's a first date outfit, so you can wear it so many times. I think I told this story too. My roommate and I used to share a shirt, and we would wear it on all of our first dates.
I think that's a great move.
Do you have the first date shirt? It's in my closet.
Right. Have you ever been on a date with a guy where the clothing you were like, I can't go on a second date with him just due to the clothing?
There was one guy wearing like very ripped jeans. That's not my.
Oh man, I was wearing on yesterday's episode.
I mean, it's not my favorite look of yours.
Oh my God.
I don't like a guy in too ripped of jeans.
How could you be so honest with me?
I mean, this is a zone of honesty and safety, right? I don't like ripped jeans that much on men. I will say that.
Okay.
That's for me, like just not a,
take it.
My roommate was always very icked out by male jewelry.
Okay.
She didn't like a guy who wore like bracelets or necklace.
Okay. Well, to me, that's here nor there.
That's her preference. I'm saying, like, I think that for women, maybe there's like I don't want to speak for all women, or I don't want to say that men don't have this at all, but I think there's sometimes little things that are just like not your style.
I've said this on this podcast, but men are like bees. We see the outline of you.
Right.
So it's really like, we're not into the specifics. We're just like is it ass and titties and face? Okay.
I think if you were wearing that ass man hat on a date,
and
I was our first date, I think I'd be.
Yeah, I think for men, like, don't be too jokey. Put yourself. The bar is very low for men. Right. I think like have a pair of jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. One outfit, if you're like, because I'm the same way where I'm like, I just want to be comfortable in my clothes, and sometimes I have stuff in the wash where I'm like, all my comfy clothes that I would feel good in on a date,
right,
are gone, and now I'm like, kind of self-conscious on the date.
Yeah. I think you want something, and I think this goes for both genders. I think you want something that does indicate that you're trying.
Right.
I think it's a little bit of a turnoff if a guy were to show up like in sweatpants or even like really a sweatshirt, I think, too, to an extent. I think you want to feel like, especially because women put in so much effort, like I'm doing my hair, I'm putting on makeup. You want to feel like they don't have to try too hard, but you want to feel like there is some level of effort that they are trying in some way to impress you.
But that's even, there's some sweatshirts I've seen that are like nice.
Sure.
And again, this is all...
It's all subjective.
This is the least viral of conversations because we're going to say like, where it makes you feel comfortable, which is the answer.
Right.
Like that's...
Have you worn sweatpants to a date?
Like I've worn these to a date, and these are like joggers, but like, but they're like chino joggers. So like, I didn't really feel too...
Have you ever gone on a date and been like wildly different, like underdressed compared to the woman? Like she's super dressed up and you're in...
I don't have a memory of that.
In your sweats?
No, I've been on dates where they're like wearing a low cut shirt and I'm like the whole time like, do not look down, just keep eye contact. Did she just see? I didn't mean to. Like you want to, like in the middle of the day, you want to apologize. You're like, that wasn't a titty look. I thought something fell on the table. Like
I think there's nothing wrong with the sexier outfit on a date. I would save it for like date 3 or 4.
Yeah,
personally.
I think like to me, like
I just think it's more fun to like dress a little bit like sexier as you're getting closer to having sex.
Right.
Personally.
I think, there's never, I'm just thinking of like,
do you try harder as the dates progress? Like you care more?
I would wear something different to a dinner date than I would to a drinks date, maybe.
Okay.
But not really thinking too much into it. Like, I mean, I don't think a lot of men are thinking as much into it. They're thinking as much into it as you think they're thinking.
Okay.
Like it's not, which is not a lot.
Yeah.
But they're like, I think also, again, like for stand-up, that's one thing for women that like is such a hard thing. Like when I do stand-up, I would wear what I would wear on a date. And
which is a black t-shirt
and jeans
yeah.
and maybe a hat and maybe a nice watch and nice sneakers. But I don't have to deal with 30 billion things that the crowd would think. Like it's not on my mind what I'm wearing.
I mean, I'll sometimes text you about like a female comedian.
Right. What they wear is like a big part of the act. And it's something that I feel badly, like you're just not going to change that. That's men and women are all like.
I think for all comedy, it's good to have an outfit that's not distracting from what you're saying.
But some women have gone the other way. Like, I mean, like go watch. I mean,
Ali Wong wore like like a leopard print dress when she was pregnant. I remember that one.
But the women's outfits in those specials they do are like, sometimes you're like, this was a statement.
Yeah.
This was part of like the performance. Like Schumer is on stage in like a short dress in a lot of her first few specials. And you're like, this is part of the act. It kind of
it must be, because you have to think, especially for something like stand-up, there's literally like, there's no set design.
It's just
there's
you.
There's no like, special effects. It's like, that's the only thing that you're presenting, really.
I mean, the special that we taped, the family
you got your
plan,
makeup done,
but I'm wearing something that I'm like, I'm like, not sure if I should have wore it.
What did you wear? I don't remember.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't even remember.
Well, I think that's good.
I got back the color correction of it.
I think if you're getting comments on your outfit, the special is probably not that great.
Like it's a jacket.
Perfect.
With like a t-shirt.
Perfect.
Right.
Forgettable. I think a forgettable comedy outfit is like great if the show is funny.
Right.
You don't need the outfit.
Right. I do think though for the woman, it's just harder.
Yeah.
Way more difficult. And I think that's like that moves to the dating very easily. That could be
your cause.
I will help.
Closing the outfit gap.
I just remember I went on stage once. Have I told you the story? I opened for a guy and I was always like thinking like, I never really thought about like the difficulties of being a female comedian. Like,
I mean, why would you?
Why would I? Okay. But this was young when I was first starting. I was opening for someone and I remember they were taking a picture. I had to have told you the story. And the guy was like taking pictures after the show with all the people that were his fans. And then this big group came out and they're hammered. And one person in the group was like, hey, the opener, like calls me over to like take a picture with the headliner and then their big group. And we're in the middle of the picture, arms around each other. And this guy takes his asshole, puts it on top of my thigh, and farts directly into my thigh. I felt it. It was like he shot my thigh with a fart.
You felt like the poof?
Felt it. Like, you know when someone like fake spits on you and go, and you feel like
the saliva?
I could feel the fart.
Did your leg smell?
So then I'm like, I go, what the fuck, dude? And he goes, oh, I just, you did that fart joke and, it's funny. And I'm like, I didn't do any fart joke. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. and then he goes, oh, no, it was just funny. And then puts his arm around me and we take this picture like in his fart and stunk.
Well, what does this have to do with your outfit?
All I could think about was like, I didn't even mention farts. And this guy like felt the right to like fart on my leg.
Did you feel violated?
I felt violent. And I'm like, I can't imagine what a woman deals with who goes on stage.
Is this your Me Too moment?
This is my Me Too. I go, if this is what I'm dealing with, a man who may have mentioned a fart, what do women deal with where they're like, I had sex with a guy last night and they could joke about his sex, which, good for them, but then someone off stage is like, oh, I guess she wants sex, like.
You thought people were assuming you just wanted farts.
Right.
All over you.
And this guy did.
I'm not sure exactly how this all connects, but I like it.
I like it. It's where I learned empathy.
Yeah. Should teach that in schools.
This is my.
I love it. Okay, let's do some red flag or deal breaker.
Let's play some games.
Let's play some games. All right, you read the first one.
I'll read the first one. Okay. And listen, red flag or deal breaker, it's the game sweeping the nation. You go on a date, everything's great. One thing happens. Is it a red flag? You notice it, move on, or is it a deal breaker? Are you out? Big fan, benefit subscriber with a red flag or deal breaker for you. I've hooked up with this guy a couple of times. Each time when we are hot and heavy and I give him the go-ahead to get out the condom, he looks at me with his dick in his hands and says, want to give him a little kiss?
Like two hands or one hand? That makes a difference, I think.
If it's two hands,
it's okay. If you're holding it with two hands or one, I don't know which one is worse, but...
Want to give him a little kiss?
At least that seems like you're a little bit like bashful about it if you're two hands, I think. I don't know.
Good for him if it's two hands. Want to give him a little kiss? Two hands is okay.
I don't know.
Referring to the penis as a him, to me, is like the tough part.
That's fair.
Personifying the penis, which I do here as a joke.
I mean, you personify the penis.
Not
the penis does the picking.
Yes, but not in the bedroom.
Okay.
Hey.
The penis wants a glass of water.
The penis does the picking. That's why you're here right now.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Yeah, you can't do that. Yeah. I have no problem with giving blowjobs. When he asks like that, it makes me feel like I'm a 13-year-old, not a 39-year-old. So red flag or deal breaker. He asked for a blowjob by saying, want to give him a little kiss? Any tips for how to get him to stop? This would be greatly appreciated. XO, that's yucky.
I think it's a red flag if you ask him to stop and he doesn't, then it would be a deal breaker. I don't know. I think asking for a blowjob is like maybe a deal breaker in itself. I don't like having to ask.
Right, you shouldn't have to ask.
It's like saying like, do you want to pay for dinner? Like if we went to drinks and I said like, do you want to pay for drinks?
Yeah, no, it wouldn't. I would go, right. How about I just pay?
Right.
Yeah.
Like if I'll do it if I want to.
Right. Yeah, I'm wondering, to me, how's the foreplay? I mean, not to take a side. I'm against the way he's doing it.
Yeah.
But it seems like...
Why don't you let me volunteer?
Right. You want them to volunteer. Why isn't he going down on you? Like, I think that's a good... way to right. Say, I got you, you get me.
Be the change you wish to see.
Right. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, I to me, like, I don't go down on women to get a blowjob, but because I like going down on women, but like, if a blowjob happens after that, oh, cool.
Would you ever ask for one?
No. When you're being taped, you have to go, have I ever asked for a blowjob? I'm sure I've insinuated.
Maybe more subtly than this.
I'm not like, hey, the little guy needs a little lick, if you know what I... Like, that would be horrific.
Yeah.
I think the jokey nature, like even if he was just like, hey, suck my fucking dick. Like it would be like more sexual.
No, I wouldn't like that.
No? Okay.
No.
I don't know. All right, we're here to edit. We write to edit. No, I think there's some bad foreplay going on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. To ask sort of takes away all the fun of it.
Right. None of this is in the moment.
Just
in
like,
the
again,
heat.
buying someone a drink.
Right. Hey, I got this.
Right.
Is more the move.
Like, do you have this one? Like, someone
Right.
asked you if you had this one.
You got this one,
It would
right?
make it not, you would
You
be
go-
like, not fun to buy it anymore, would it not?
Right. Hey, I got the last one. Is like not even fun.
No, right.
You just
That's
get it.
that version, I think.
How does she end? She does want to hook up with this guy still, so it's not a deal breaker for her. There is some empathy to have to go, hey, we're learning how each other works.
Sure.
Do you think, I was thinking, could she laugh at him, but is laughing at him like making him think he's funny, but like, you're not serious, right? But she's already done it maybe, so like maybe she's not allowed to say that, or she's
I think
allowed
you
to
could
do
say
whatever
like,
she wants.
hey, you'll know when I,
I don't like that either.
if I want to, you'll know.
How about, hey, you got to stop asking me to suck your dick, and you got to stop.
It takes away the fun of it for me.
Yeah. How about that isn't fun for me?
Yeah.
That isn't fun for me. When you do that, that isn't fun for me.
I like that.
How about that?
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, if he's like, what? You just referred to your penis as if it was another person. And I don't mind giving blowjobs, but this isn't the way I like to do them, with being asked that way.
Is that how you would respond to someone asking you to buy them a drink?
No.
How would you respond to that?
I would probably just buy the drink. That's why I have empathy for her. She's like, I've already blown them.
Right.
I like went along
No,
with
I
this,
get
but it
it.
doesn't feel great.
Yeah. But you might not see them again.
Right. Yeah. If I probably wouldn't go out with them very often if they were like, so you're buying this drink, right?
Yeah, I feel like that would be icky also.
So this would not be a deal breaker for me. If a woman was like, so you're gonna
Do you have your card?
lick the kitten?
Check. That's different though, I think. I think
Is
it's
it?
more I think it's more equating to the buying the drink than it is to a woman asking you to go down on her.
Explain that.
Because I just think it's like it feels more transactional to ask for it.
No, so you say they.
I'm saying like I think that like it's not equivalent for a man to ask you to like blow him and a woman to ask you to go down on her.
Really.
Yeah. I think it's more equivalent to the drink asking.
Explain that more. I'm having trouble.
I just think there's like a societal like dating norms or feeling of like, oh, like I don't know, you're owed something in a way. Do you know what I mean? It feels like
so you're saying because of there's a date that just happened. Maybe there was a payment where he paid for the drinks.
yeah.
And now he's asking to have his dick sucked, and you feel that that's the transaction. And then if a woman on a date, if I bought a woman drinks on a date, we go back to my place, and then she's like, "Hey, little kitty needs a lick."
No,
Like,
I think
that would be to me weird.
I think what I'm saying is like I think it's more like sexually hot for a woman to ask to ask a man to do something in bed,
right.
and I think it's like tackier for a man to ask, and I think just like
Right.
with like paying for shit, that it would be a lot tackier for a woman to ask you, like, "Where's your credit card? Do you want to give him a little Amex?"
Right. It doesn't work the same, is what you're saying. I don't know why I'm having trouble.
I just think it's like
following
more equivalent. I'm saying I don't think it's. I don't think it's as equivalent to have like a woman asking a guy to go down on her and a man asking for a blowjob.
this. It's not equivalent.
Yeah,
I agree, because I'm trying to think of like if a woman said it to me,
I think you might think it was hot.
I would think it's hot, but saying it with this like, "Hey, the little lady downstairs needs a shower," you know, I'm like, I don't. Can we do it differently?
Yeah, I would agree.
You know, like, but if a woman was like, I like whispered in my ear, like, "I want you to go down on me," I'd be like,
I'd give her a little kiss.
no. That would be weird. I'd be turned on.
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot about the way you said it.
It's all how you say it for the woman, but for the man asking for it,
You have to be careful.
you got it. It's not going to work. I
Yeah.
think what she should do is like, I just don't like the way we're going about this.
Right.
I think it's okay to stop the sexual
It's not
experience.
right. It's not fun for
Everyone
me.
has redemption within them.
Sure.
I think he could find a way to not do this again. Like the guy who says this has never been told, obviously, or maybe he has, and that's why he ends things, and get the fuck out of there. Good for you.
Yeah.
Let's do another.
Okay. Hi, J&J. I have a question for you about a topic that's come up in conversation with friends in the past and recently with a guy I'm casually seeing. And I'm not sure how to feel about it. Do you think it's a red flag if the person you're dating is friends with someone who constantly cheats on their partner? On the one hand, you're clearly not responsible for every stupid thing your friends do, and everyone has their problems. Some people drink, some gamble, some cheat. And on the other hand, does it say something about your morals and values if you have someone that would do something like that in your close circle of friends? I would never tell my partner who they can or can't be friends with, but I can't help feeling uncomfortable by it. What do you guys think? Is this a red flag, deal breaker, or something that should be none of my and my partner's business?
This is a tough one. We kind of had a similar one of this a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I think, let me speak as a guy, like with friends of mine, there's friends I know, like friends.
I feel like every guy has a guy in his group or peripheral group that is this guy.
Right. And to me, what ends up happening is the guys kind of separate themselves from the guy. Mm-hmm. What generally happens is the guys kind of like keep them as a friend.
Right. They're not like formally ending a friendship.
And women do formally end friendships. Women have messy endings to their friendships. Like we've heard that on this podcast. A lot of men just kind of like, yeah, it's the guy. You know, like we kind of, the guy.
That's just him.
That's just him. Yeah. And I don't hang out with him much. I'm with him in group settings.
Right.
You know,
he just says crazy shit. It's entertaining.
Right. This is like, you know, there was a whole conversation about like locker room talk, and that went on. If you remember that, mm-hmm. And I remember there were like, you could see there were kind of like you could really tell which men were working and which were being honest during that time. Like there were some men in the public space who were like, locker room, that's not locker room talk to me. And I'm like, you're lying to make money. You're lying to make money off of your fan base.
Okay.
Because I would say 99.9% of men have been around someone who they became friends with in whatever way they became friends over the years. And you hear things from guys that you go, you kind of just like pass over. You're not, and that's the human thing. And all humans are imperfect, you know, where you go, I'm not going to challenge him on this. I'm just not going to like hang with him. And then you go talk with another friend. Did you hear that guy? Like I pass around screenshots of people's stories that I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this guy?
Right.
We do that, but it's not this.
Not like you're approving.
Right. And this sounds like it's from a female listener.
Yeah.
I think. And they're basically saying like, my boyfriend is friends with a guy who constantly cheats. You do see this the other way. This isn't a gendered thing.
I agree.
There's women that you go that like.
Where they do questionable things.
Right. And they're like complaining about their husband and then going out and being flirty. You see that from women. There's a version of women that do this too.
Sure.
How close are they with this person?
I think
What's
that's
the
a big question.
I think that's a big part of it. Right. Like, because I know people where I'm like, I just noticed that like most of my friends have a distance with these types of people.
Right. I think you could be friendly.
They're not angry at them.
Yeah.
They're not going to tell them what to do or get involved.
And I think unless that person is your close friend, you don't really need to. It's not like really like, what are you? I think every guy like is like, yeah, I have that one friend who's a scumbag. Like, fine.
Right. And it's like, this happens with like moms and their sons.
Yeah.
There's never been a mom who's like, yeah, my son's a piece of shit. You know, like it's a tough subject because on the internet, one person goes, how could you? And like, what are you going to do? Defend liking someone who you know is like living in the gray of life?
Right.
You know, you can't defend it.
I think there's a difference between friends and best friends.
Right.
Are they going out together? I think that's like also another part of it, especially when you're like of that going out age. Like, is this someone they're going out with alone all the time?
Right. I used to say when someone's like, are you friends with that person? I used to have I've said it here. It's probably been years since I said it, but are you friends with that person? I go, same party, different car. So like we would be at the same party, but we'd take different cars.
Right.
My car, I can look at my high school, my college, my car were like, I know who was in my car to the party.
Right.
College, I know who was in my car. And I also know who was at the party.
Well, that's like friendly versus friends.
Right. And if your person that you're dating is like close friends and going, as you said, going out every Saturday, they have a standing appointment to go clubbing.
Right.
Your husband is part of this issue.
Yeah.
if they are cordial at a wedding,
Right.
and he's like, yeah, that guy's like kind of like living it up. You know, you go,
All right.
I don't think that's something your husband's responsible for.
Yes. A lot of these times I feel like these guys are like the absurd entertainment for the group in some
Their
ways.
version of that, I'm thinking of, there's a few people I'm thinking of. And they're like jokes to us too.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
yeah, like I
like,
don't think they're like, oh, that guy's the man. He's like the best.
Like there's guys I know that I'm like, there is a thought of like, do you go say something? You know, like stay away from him. You don't, you know, like that. It's like, what are you like? Oh, you don't want to be around this guy.
You wouldn't set him up with like your sister.
Right. There's a Seinfeld episode that kind of goes on the opposite of this, where like he's dating a woman, and all her friends are like, "Thank you, she needed this," and and he's like, "Why am I? Am I dating the loser?"
Right.
You know, and it's like you don't want to do that to the
right.
You know,
You don't want them to be so eager to set you up with them, but you also don't want them to be like, oh my God, like I would never introduce them to anyone I cared about.
right. So,
which I know people make both of those.
So it's a red flag for your partner to be friends with them.
I agree.
Not
a deal breaker. All right, let's do one more.
J&J, thanks for all the laughs and brutally honest advice. You've made me feel way less alone in the dating trenches. So here's my situation. My boyfriend's 34. We've been together 2.5 years. I was at a bachelorette in Atlanta, and one of the stops was Magic City. Magic City. When I mentioned it to him in a text, he got upset. Said I knew how he felt about me going to strip clubs. We talked about it before. He's not a fan. But I didn't realize this was a deal breaker level issue. We got on the phone and he told me I'd put myself in a sexual situation, betrayed him, and that our relationship was over. I asked him if me being bisexual was what was making him worry, even though we were in a monogamous relationship. And I told him how me going to a female strip club isn't to turn me on, especially as part of a bachelorette party with all straight, married, or almost married women. And he admitted to how if I were straight, he'd only have a problem if I went to a male strip club. He expected me to tell the girls that I had to stay back at the Airbnb and that I could meet them at the next bar. That's crazy. He then brought up how he was upset with me because I had to share a bed/room with one of my friends on the bachelorette party, something I have done so many times in the past, and also reassured him early in our relationship when he got upset about it, that it's not like I'm trying to fuck my friends or they want to do that to me, and that it was truly just sharing beds. I have never done anything in our relationship to step out or make him question my loyalty or fidelity. So is this a red flag or deal breaker? I get that people have boundaries, but ending a relationship over a strip club stop during a bachelorette weekend with 12 women feels like a lot.
12 straight women.
With 12 straight women. Feels like a lot. Thanks for all the help over the years. I'm interested to see your thoughts. Sincerely, stripped of him, Betch.
All right.
So we have text.
We have text. Do you want to be him? I'll be her?
Yeah. I'll be the insecure loser.
Yeah.
Where are y'all at now?
Magic City, probably finishing up here in 30 minutes to head to Dark Horse.
Well, I guess you made your choice then. I'm shocked and hurt, but so be it. That's it.
Wait, what?
That was quick. You know how I feel about you going to strip clubs. I reminded you. You went anyways. There's nothing left to discuss.
Did you ask where y'all at now because you saw my story? And is that why you blocked me on Instagram already?
No. Was just curious. The Instagram block has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
I think your account got hacked and that's why I blocked you. Like,
this is like a huge, this guy is very, very insecure.
Let me just say.
And controlling.
He's controlling, he's insecure. This is the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
I think she is telling us, again, I called him an insecure loser. He sounds like one. This is one of those scenarios we're getting one side to a story that has 3 sides.
Okay.
There's his side, there's her side, and there's somewhere the truth is somewhere in the middle.
I feel like even if his side is somewhat merited of being jealous, the way he has expressed it is like pretty gross.
It's no. It's gross to just like their boyfriend, girlfriend. And he's like, well, that's
for 2.5 years.
Yeah. So we're not getting the whole story here. For her to go to us, is this a reason to like, I don't know. It's just something is fishy here.
There's another third.
I think there's more to this story. Again, this isn't the problem. Their problem wasn't like, don't go to strip clubs.
Right.
Their problem was there's a mistrust in this relationship that they're not at the heart of. And there's this like, and again, like there's like I think like the male version of getting gaslit is I'm just having fun. What are you talking about? I'm just having fun with my friends.
I mean,
and
the way
like,
she's describing it does sound like she's just having fun with her friends. Yeah.
I'm just saying it is strange to me to just go, that's it. You've made your decision. Again, like that might be
Unless
him.
you're a guy who's like using breaking up with someone as a controlling part of the relationship. I don't think he means that. I don't think this guy
he'll be back.
Oh yeah, I think he's doing that to like try to punish her for this. Like reads very like emotionally abusive to me.
Fair. Okay.
Which is why I see what you're saying. Like there's more to the story.
There's more.
Clearly,
I'm just saying there's more.
You don't just
Maybe
like
it's more
wake
and
up
he sucks more.
suddenly in a 2.5-year relationship. Like the person, like this doesn't. You don't just start getting texts like this from someone. But I do think it's like the way that it's again. I don't think it's an issue to be uncomfortable with something someone's doing.
Right.
You know, if Mike went on a bachelor party, he went to a strip club, would I love it? No. Would I speak to him about like this about it? No. I think it's like less about like what your preferences are and the way and more like the way you're interacting or the way you're fighting here.
Right. Well, that's why I'm like, there's more here. And this relationship should be over. Like you're too the red flag. She's asking us red flag deal breaker. This is how they react,
right?
Or like I guess red flag deal breaker. I went to a strip club. Should I be dumb for this? Like the nature of that
the
question,
red flag or deal breaker,
right?
Yeah.
When someone asks it that way, I just don't trust.
Well, that sounds like how he's phrasing it. He's phrasing it as like you went to the strip club, so we are done.
Right.
So it's a deal breaker for me.
But I'm saying to reduce it to this is the only reason he's breaking up with me is just not the truth.
Unless he's a super controlling guy.
Unless I'm saying on the spectrum of what the stories are, that's on it. I'm not discrediting that he's an emotionally abusive guy. That might be the case. I'm just saying like, this isn't a question, red flag deal breaker, I'm in a 2-year relationship and I went to a strip club. Do you think I deserve to be dumped? Is like, I go, where did this come?
Right.
That's not
Fair.
even, the premise is fraudulent.
Yeah. This sounds to me like someone who's very insecure about dating a woman who's bisexual.
Of course. It's weird that it even came up, the bisexuality.
I think it's irrelevant.
Right, it's irrelevant.
I think it is relevant.
It's relevant. No, it's relevant to how he's insecure. But I'm like, if I was dating someone who's bisexual, oh, you went to a man club or a woman club?
Right.
Like,
well, he's like, fuck, I can't have her around men or women.
Right. We're so down the rabbit hole of insecurity,
right?
That there's so much more here. Like I don't. That's why I'm kind of like I'm balking at the idea.
Well, this guy just thinks she's gonna fuck everyone everywhere, like people in the house, the people at the strip club.
Right. That's why I'm like. Right.
He's like, I gotta put her.
Did you put up a pillow wall? Did you put up a pillow wall in the bed?
That's something. This guy cannot handle dating.
Right. She should end this immediately. This person is not to date.
Yeah.
But like, when we end something, let's look in the mirror a little bit.
What do you think she's doing wrong here?
I don't know what she's doing wrong.
You're just saying she's doing something wrong that you don't know about?
I just can't believe. Listen, I don't want to take the side. I don't want to victim blame because I hope I don't sound like I'm doing that because I'm looking at this as like, to me, it's so extreme a reaction to be like, you were in bed with your friends. Like it's just. But
again, I think like in a controlling relationship, that sometimes is how they manifest.
Right, but she didn't say he was control. Like I don't know, maybe she doesn't even realize that she's in a manipulative relationship.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if someone's speaking to you like that and is so paranoid about every person that you're around that you're gonna sleep with them, like that does sound. Unless are you saying like maybe she's cheated on him?
I don't
know.
Or something? I'm not even. I would never even go there. I'm saying this email comes to us very differently. If like we've gotten so many emails at this point that it would be like, I'm with this guy who's emotionally manipulative.
Right. She doesn't talk about the relationship. She doesn't give any context about what the relationship is like. She just said we've been together for 2.5 years.
So who's right or wrong? Me going to a strip club? Like, of course he's wrong.
Right.
She knows he's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I would have loved to have more color on like what the relationship is like.
Right. And like
other issues that have come up in the past.
Yeah. But I'm also. Again, we could get she could explain the whole relationship. We go, yeah, he's a piece of shit. You should get away from him. The same answer applies. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that's not like the case. I'm just saying like, I don't know, sometimes the way the email, the answer's in the email and there's no answer in this email.
That's fair.
But No, it's not a deal breaker. If my girlfriend went to a strip club and she was bi and she went with her friends, there's not even a thought in my mind.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be a deal breaker if Mike went to a strip club.
Right. Especially Magic City. Magic City is like the most fun one.
I haven't been.
Oh, have you guys? No? I guess I'm just alone
The
here.
only one at the strip club.
Well, we solved dating again.
We did it. We'll be back on Friday.
Boom.